Hi, welcome. Simon here. Hope you're doing well. In this video, I'll be replacing the battery, keyboard, touchpad, the full assembly on a MacBook Pro. The model of this, take a look here at the back, is A1502. Alright, this is a 13-inch. I know it's kind of a older model, but if this is something you're looking for to save some money, to replace the battery, or to change out the keyboard, then this video is for you. What I mean by the full assembly is that the keyboard, the touchpad, and the battery, it comes in a full set like this. It's a full assembly original, but it's a used keyboard. Now, I do not quite recommend you to just change out the battery itself, because it is quite difficult to remove it, especially if the battery is swollen. If you have a battery that is ready to explode and you're trying to go underneath to remove that adhesive tape, that is very sticky adhesive tape, and there is a chance that you might puncture the battery. So for safety reason, definitely is easier to just replace the full assembly. You don't have to try to remove things, just kind of unscrew, replace, and you're good to go. Alright, I'll be using a Pentalope P5. Let's remove all the screw here. Looks like there are some missing screws. There's one here on the top right corner. There's one here right in the center on the right side. I can actually feel that the computer the back cover is pushing against. You can see that the back cover is already starting to kind of push back. That is because the battery is swollen. The battery is trying to push back. Sometimes if you feel like your touchpad is not working or the clicker is not working, that's more likely because of the battery as well, because it's pushing from the inside out. Therefore, you might have problem with the trackpad. Alright, so you can see that the battery here on the right is slightly swollen, slightly bulging apart, and it's kind of like a balloon that is about to pop. So that is the reason why I suggested move everything over, transfer it is much easier. Alright, so I'm going to work on the screen first. Remove these two little plastic. Disconnect the battery. Peel this thing back. This connector here, you just got to lift it straight up. It is so hard to get it out. Been here for so long. So it's just kind of like Lego. You snap on top of it. To remove, you just lift it straight up. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, get a better view of it. Okay, so that is that. Go ahead and disconnect all the Wi-Fi antenna cable. Just lift it straight up to disconnect them. Slide this cable away from my body to that direction. Slide it out. Peel it back. Let's disconnect the metal piece. So you're gonna safety clipper. You gotta flip the clipper up. Once the clipper is open, slide the cable out of that direction. Get a T8 screwdriver, Torx T8. Alright, once all the screws are removed, I'll be using a T5. There's this tiny little screw right here. It might have been a T4, but I'm using a T5 because my screwdriver has been with me for a while. I've been using it a lot, so I think the screwdriver may have worn out. Instead of the actual size, it may have worn out to a point that it got decreased down to T4 or somewhat in between. So that's my situation. You might want to find the right size before you take it in apart. Okay, so I'm going to open up the computer. So turn on the screen, open up the screen, and the hinge will just pop right out. Okay, and both of them will just slide right out, and the whole screen will just come off. So we're going to save the original screen and it'll be transferred over. So put it on the side. Okay. The next step is to start disconnecting the rest of other stuff. What I suggest to do is take a picture of the computer. So snap a shot like this as you remove and print out the piece of paper. As you remove the screw and the bracket, you want to put it on top of the reference paper. Therefore, you know where the screw's going to be, and you're not going to mix match the screw. Okay, looks like I need to retransfer this as well. It doesn't come with it on the other keyboard, so peel this, expose the tape back, flip the little clipper open. Once the clipper is open, I'm going to slide this cable out away from my body, save this cable. We're going to transfer it over in just a second. Expose the tape, peel the tape back, flip open that little clipper, slide the keyboard down. Okay, this is the speaker, lift it straight up. We have to transfer the speaker. That is a DC connector. Slide the cable to your right. Okay, we're going to transfer that as well. There's a little cable here which you need to open it up. Here comes the speaker. I'll just lift it straight up to disconnect that. Slide this cable to the left. A lot of time I like to use the push and pull method. Okay, there's a safety clipper. Open up the clipper and slide that CPU flex cable away from you. Just slide it that way. Alright, so I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to remove this screw here. Okay, remove that. The two screws is holding down the DC jack. Okay, further down, there's a cable here. Peel the tape back. Flip open the clipper and slide that cable down, just like such. Gonna remove the CPU fan. There are 3 screws in total. 1, 2, and 3. And now the entire CPU, the entire motherboard should just come right off by sliding it to the left, just like such. Okay, we're gonna transfer this to the other board just a second. Okay, let's remove the speaker. Let's just remove the speaker for now. 3 screws holding it down. Oops, I think I dropped the screw. Yikes. Let me see if I can look for it. I'm not able to find that missing screw, but I'll find a replacement screw. Hopefully I can find it. But anyway, let's move on. So remove that speaker. You definitely need to have all the screws to hold on to the speaker, because the speaker has a vibration to it, and if you do not have the full set of screws, that vibration may just cause static sound. So make sure you have all the screws for the speaker. Okay, so since I'm transferring the speaker, I might as well just start putting it on the replacement keyboard directly instead of missing more screws here. Okay, so I have 2 of them. I'll find a replacement screw for that. So let's go ahead and get this side of the speaker out. Okay, so that is all done. Let's come back here. We need to transfer this USB port board. This board here has to go to the other side. This is the Torx T8. So what I'm doing right now is to make sure I slide in the connector first. You need to tuck it underneath the base. Okay, that is very important to do that. Tuck it underneath. Making sure it's not above the base. Got the Torx T8, the big screw here. Gonna go on top of the board on the top right corner. That is where it's gonna hold down the CPU heatsink. Okay, once that is done, so we pretty much transferred this and the both speaker off the broken keyboard. Gonna come back, transfer the motherboard here. So making sure all your cables are sitting above the motherboard, so kind of lean them back as you're gonna slide in the motherboard here to your right. So kind of slide it in. making sure that the metal is go underneath that. While you're doing the motherboard, sliding it to the right, bringing it back down. You want to make sure all the cables are sitting on top of the motherboard, okay? Making sure you have that taken care at the same time, because you do not want to have them pinch down whatsoever. So I'm having some difficult time. It's not easy, so just be patient. Keep doing it until you have the perfect slide in, because it shouldn't be that difficult. It shouldn't be like a force in. It should be a straight, kind of easy, slide it in, and then it would just sit flush. If it's not sitting flush and you're going to put pressure to that, then more likely it is not in a position. Okay, so right now I think I got it. I'm going to make sure my cables are sitting on top. Okay, there you go. So you got to make sure this corner here, got to kind of tuck it underneath and slide it in. And once it's in a position, it would just drop and sit flush to that. Now I have this CPU fan, got to go back underneath. Okay, so once that is done, just pretty much I got to repeat the process, reverse process. I have 3 screws. Let's put them back for the CPU fan. I have this tiny little screw starting from the heatsink, top right. I always have difficulty sliding this rubber back. For some reason, it doesn't want to go back in a position. I always ended up cutting the bottom part of the leg. I think the rubber, oh, well, that's pretty good. The rubber is just additional seal for the exhaust, directing the heat away from the computer. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't see a point that sitting over there, unless you stop the vibration of the fan. That might be a possibility. Okay, slide this thing back in. Alright, I have all the screws back to the motherboard. Now the next step is to reconnect all the cables. This cable right here goes to the very top. That one is like Lego, you snap back onto it. There's a DC jack cable. Slide it into the left. This is tiny little thing here. Make sure the clipper is open. You're going to push it back up. It's not easy, it's quite difficult. But once you have it in, you just have to guide that cable all the way in to the white line. It reaches down to the white line. Once it is there, you just have to close it in, close the clipper. There's the speaker, very easy, just snap back on top. I'll lift the battery up for a second and reconnect the keyboard now. So the keyboard is not easy, okay? You got to peel it back in a way that the keyboard is the toughest way to do it. Okay, you got to kind of peel it back, lean it backwards, and then let it automatically slice back in itself. Then you can close it down. It's hard to explain it, so you got to bring it back enough so that the thing can easily slide back to the slot. That's how it feels like to me. Reconnect the cable, slide it in. Okay, that is the speaker. There's a way you need to do. You're gonna put this first, speaker second, and this final Lego thing, the third. There's a CPU fan, so which is good. Do not forget this. We are almost there. The only thing that needs to reconnect would be the LCD screen, which is the easiest part. Okay, that's the LCD screen. So make sure the hinge is open up, right? Push back. You gotta slide it down first. Slide the hinge down on both sides. Once it's in, what we need to do is to put one of the screw to hold it. We need to close the screen to continue the repair. So let's put one of the screw in. If the screw actually wants to go in, so let's it should be easy, but for some reason that screw doesn't want to cooperate. Let's try again. Let's put one is enough for now. Do the other side the same way, just have one of the screw to go back in it. Okay, once you have that, just close it down. Okay. Slide the cable back in. close it down, finish up the rest of the screw. The Wi-Fi cable, all you have to do is just to make sure you align the circle. So the connector, it just like circle that sits on top of it. So the best way is okay, and that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye now. I'm not sure why it pauses, alright, so they kind of throw me off. I just saw the recording pauses somewhere, I'm not sure when, but yeah, okay, bye.